Hello Hornets, I'm Ayden Burton.
And I'm Rouman. This week we cover the girls' soccer game at Pioneer, a player profile on an astounding girls' tennis player, and see what it's like to be an esports athlete.
All this and more on this episode of Hornet Nation.
Saline hosts the annual Golden Triangle track meet this Friday. This meet contains 36 teams competing from around the Midwest, including teams from Ohio and Indiana. Parking at the stadium will be limited, so we recommend you do not park on the pool athletic side parking lots. Instead, use the auditorium side parking lot.
The girls' soccer team is on a generational run. They recently faced off in a conference matchup against Ann Arbor Pioneer. Dom Bucciaroso gives us a recap of this riveting competition.
Undefeated and ranked the #1 team in Michigan, the Saline girls soccer team is dominating their opponents. With a 60-3 point differential, Saline proved their rank last week against Pioneer. The game started slowly, with the crazy winds blowing several shots on goal away, keeping the score low. Late in the game, McKenna Means managed to slide in a goal, making the score 1-0 at the half. Strong wins and even stronger wills. Saline leads 1-0 at halftime, with McKenna Means scoring the only goal of the half. Let's see what the Hornets can do next. At the start of the second half, Pioneer pushed Saline down to the goal line, keeping good pressure. However, Saline managed to fight back and send the ball back to Pioneer's side. After a corner kick shot into the goalie box, Sienna Snyder managed to fire the ball in, making the score 2-0. Saline's defense kept the score low, running the clock down and ultimately winning the game 2-0. I spoke to McKenna and Sienna to get their insight after the game. And what's been motivating you and your team to perform so well this season? You guys have a 60-3 point deficit right now.
Yeah, I think last year was a hard loss for us, so we're just, again, taking one game at a time, and it means everything to us. We don't want to we want to go as far as possible, so we just work our hardest in practice, and yeah.
What do you guys want to say to Dexter, who you're playing next?
Be ready.
Yeah. No hate to the other team. We're just going to go out there and play our game, not really worry about what they're doing.
So, yeah.
The girls went on to beat Dexter 5-0 the next day, continuing their domination and remaining undefeated. The girls' soccer team is sizzling. Come out and support our girls as they continue to dominate. I'm Dominic Bucciaroso. Back to you in the studio.
Thanks, Dom. This one brings the Hornets' total season goals to over 70 in just 12 games. It also adds one more win to their undefeated season. They hope to continue their reign tomorrow night at 7 p.m. at Monroe. Let's hope they can keep the streak going.
Ayden, you know what sport really fascinates me these days?
What, football, track?
Now, I've been really interested by tennis recently, so we asked Ray Jenkins to serve us up some information on the girls' tennis team. Take it away, Ray.
Hello, Hornets. I'm Ray Jenkins, reporting for Saline Varsity Girls Tennis. As the school year is winding down, we wanted to interview one of our senior athletes who isn't committed to keep playing in college, but still plans to keep playing their sport throughout their life. So we sat down with varsity girls tennis player Sydney Becker to learn more about the team and her plans for the future.
So I first started playing tennis when I was about 6 years old. It was when I first started to do lessons. So I've been playing for about 12 years now, with an exception of a year off because of an injury. So in the off season, I do club tennis at Travis Point multiple days a week, usually 2 to 3 days a week. And then in season, there's practice every day after school from 3 to 5. And then we have matches every week as well as quads, which are all-day events Saturday. I was very proud of my performance last season. I played one doubles with Eva Cueto. She graduated last year, but we did an amazing job. We won a lot of our matches. We were seated high in our region.
For many of our athletes, the teams they're on mean much more to them than just being a sports team and hold a very special place in their hearts.
So for me, the tennis team is definitely more than just like practices and like matches and a place to win. But it's a huge place where I build like lots of like friendships and connections with people. And it's also a place where I learn a lot about myself and what my limits are, because tennis is a very big mental game. So I learn a lot about myself mentally as well as physically. I like playing tennis. I love winning. I love the sport. I also like to keep playing because of the friendships that I've built on the team. For me, the tennis team is a very positive atmosphere and a place where I can go to just like relieve my stress.
While Sydney may not be committed to keep playing in college, her time with tennis is still very far from over.
So after graduating, I definitely plan to keep on playing tennis. Like, as most people know, it's a sport that you can play long term throughout your life, even as you age. So definitely as I age, it will be a fun way to keep on exercising and meeting new people. So I definitely plan to play tennis throughout my whole life.
Celine is very proud to have had Sydney as a great player and influence in the girls' tennis program, and we all encourage you to go cheer her on as her time on the team wraps up. I'm Ray Jenkins, reporting for Hornet Nation. Back to you in the studio.
Thanks, Ray. Keeping on the topic of tennis, the girls play tomorrow at 4 p.m. at Ann Arbor Pioneer. Show up to support the Hornets.
Changing gears, esports is quickly rising in popularity, and Celine's team is leveling up with over 30 esports competitors. Cam Abello goes in depth with one of our most successful esports athletes.
According to USA Today, Celine's esports team is currently ranked #1 in the country. Esports is known for its fast-paced action and chemistry among teammates. But in order to be successful, team members must collaborate together under high-pressure situations.
Usually when things don't go our way for matches and like nobody is like communicating, I usually try to like step up and like try to make a difference.
But I think that we're just getting out to it right now and we just need to lock in.
Because like we mess up all the time. It happens, but we need someone to like say, hey, it's okay, and like we got this still.
Esports might not seem very competitive, but after hours of training, Jackson proves just how competitive video games can actually be.
I would say that I'm more of like a serious person. I take it a lot more seriously than the rest of my teammates.
We're dead. Tree dead? Where's the last one? Oh my gosh, I'm like, go!
I just want to bring that like competitive edge because I've been like competitive my whole life. I've been playing sports my whole life, so being able to do this opportunity, I like want to take it seriously.
However, no matter how successful a team can be, there is always some sort of challenge.
Gosh,
I think that, you know, having burnout in our games is like one key thing.
Oh my, dude.
Like happening, because like if you're playing the same game like 5-6 hours a day constantly, you get burnt out, and then like if you start not performing well, then like you're taking that on yourself, even though like you shouldn't be.
Our esports team didn't have the smoothest road getting to the state championship, but they persevered through and gave it their all.
Last season we competed in Mario Kart and for Valorant, and having to have those playoff games like rescheduled every single time because they were conflicting, and like even at states we had to play those games, like those contradicted, so like we almost had to give up our Valorant season so that we could win the state championship for Mario Kart.
Celine has hard fought their way through 2 different esports to get to the first place in Mario Kart. Yep.
But we were lucky enough that we won so fast in Mario Kart that they let us play Valorant, so we got to the finals and then unfortunately lost for Valorant. But having that, you know, that win for Mario Kart really did, I think, boost our whole team's confidence.
If you're looking for some fast-paced and competitive video games, see Mr. Vasilov to join the team. Reporting for Hornet Nation, I'm Cam Abello. Back to you in the studio.
Went like that?
Thanks, Cam. With over a dozen games you can competitively play, esports is a fun way to showcase your talents. If you're interested in joining the esports team, contact Mr. Vasilov in room 201 or send him an email.
That's all for this show. Tune in next time for a player profile on a foreign exchange athlete, a rowing feature, and a boys lacrosse game of the week.
Be sure to follow @CelineVideo on Instagram and YouTube for show updates and behind-the-scenes content.
Have a great day, Hornets.